And we know, if we've lived a while, if we've really looked at those things and those places, that they are not truth. They are something, but they're not truth. Truth really happens when we're together, when we see each other, when, like Jesus, who sat in that temple and spoke, you speak from the heart, where you greet each other and you look in each other's eyes and you say, I know you. I know you. And you know me. This is that place. You know, I walk through life looking at what's going on around me, and I'm horrified most of the time. Have you ever walked through and thought, can this keep going on? Can one more person be killed? Can one more person be called a name? Can one more person die of hunger? Can one more war be started over faith? Can one more? And you think, I don't want this to go on. And then you go and get your groceries. I don't want this to go on. And you go about your day. I don't want this to go on. And you watch a television show. I don't want this to go on. Justice is at the core of our faith. Jesus stood for justice, stood for peace, stood for love. We talk about it, and today is the day that we should do something about it. Today is the day we can do something about it. We can stop, just stop and say, enough. Today's the day. I am going to actually get up and make a difference. I am going to go out and say enough. I am going to call my legislature and say enough. Today is the day that our children are educated and fed. Not by where they live, not by the color of their skin, but because they are children, and that's what we do for children. All children treated the same. This is the day when we say we are going to go into the world and we are not going to let another person walk alone and be harassed because of the color of their skin. We will walk with you. We will go and we will say, not one more person going into a bathroom will be harassed because of gender. We will go with them. We will walk with you. We will stand with you. Today is the day that we take our words and we put them into action. Today. Let's not put it off any longer. Let's not walk out there and forget that we need to do these things. Today is the day. Today is the day that we give feet to our faith. Today is the day. Can you say that? Today is the day. Louder. Today is the day. That's a lot better. Today is the day. And if we can actually do it, we can make a tremendous difference. It does not mean that I should go and make a difference on all of your behalves. You are lovely, and I've been doing it, and I'm getting old. We need to raise up a whole community of people doing this work, going out and saying enough. We want no more children hurt. We want no more children hurt. We want no more people discriminated against. We want no more. We want people treated the same. We want everybody to go to bed with full eyes in a warm house. We can do it. It's possible. We have buildings that just are there and empty. Empty, and we do nothing with them. Why? You know, there are things that we can do if there's enough of us standing up and saying, let's change this. Let's change this. What will you do for your faith? How far are you willing to go for God? We talked about that this week at our Living the Questions. How far are you willing to go for God? How far are you willing to go for your faith? What kind of steps are you willing to take? Where is God in your life? Is God a Sunday, pick it out of your pocket and bring it to church kind of God? Or is God a God that is there all the time, guiding everything that you do? Is God a part of your life in every part, in every aspect? Do you believe that God walks with you wherever you are? Well, then why aren't we walking with God wherever we are? We need to take that step, embrace our God, and walk with God. We need to go out and do what we can to change the world and to make a difference. I know you're thinking, we've heard this before, right? Have I said this before? Okay. So, today is the day. Today is the day that we make a difference. Today is the day that we say, okay, I am going to risk and I'm going to stand up and say enough. Today is the day that I'm not going to hide. Today is the day that I'm going to say no when somebody says, well, you know, it's got to be okay for there to be, in some places, white people get discriminated against. No. No. We don't. When we've got to be able to say, no, that does not happen. Not on the color of our skin. We live with privilege. How many of you know what it means to live with privilege? Okay. Are your bellies full? Yes. Yes? You live with privilege. Can you walk into a church without having secret police standing out there asking you where you're going and why you're going there? Can you? Can you come into this church without fear? Yes. Yeah, you have privilege. You have privilege. Well, it's time we used it. We used it to make a difference. And we can make a difference. What are you willing to give? What are you willing to give to God? This is God's work. We are the hands, the feet, the mouth. We are the agents of God. Did you ever watch that show, Get Smart? And there was this secret agents. And he wasn't particularly bright. And he had a telephone in his shoe. A little awkward in today's terms to be holding a shoe up to you. But there is also that cone of silence that would descend from the ceiling. We are not in a cone of silence. And yet we've been acting like we're all in this big cone of silence that dropped from some mythical ceiling. Like we know a good thing, but we're not going to share it with you. Right? Well, it's time to start sharing it. It's time to get out there and do something. It's time to make a difference. Today is the day. It's time to say yes when you're called to go and do something. We heard today that they want some people to come talk. I know you all talk. I've heard you. I know, it's possible. So we could go and talk. For young people to hear old people that you actually can live through all this, it's not a bad thing. It's good for them to know. It's good for people to know that we survived it, even when it feels impossible when you're in the middle of it. Do you remember when you first came out and you were scared all the time? I remember going to the back door of a house in Regina, Saskatchewan. I didn't see any of you there. It had Christmas lights around the back door, and you had to have the secret knock. And then you had to have a card. Yes, I was a card-carrying lesbian. You had to have a card that said, I am a lesbian. And yes,
How's that card?
You thought it was mythical, didn't you? The lesbian card? No, it's not. And so we went to the back door, and we would give the secret knock, and it would open just a crack. And they would look to see, and you'd hold your card up so they could see it with their little flashlight, and then you could come in. And it was the basement of a house with lights, and we'd stand around and we'd talk about how lucky we are we could be out. Yeah. Life changes when you stand up and you say, enough. Life changes when you're willing to fight for what you believe in. Life can change, and we can make it change. We've got a lot of power. Life can change. Jesus came to bring love and liberation. Love and liberation. Can we do any less? Today is the day for us to be loving and working for liberation. Until one person, if there's one person that's not free, then we still have work to do. So, this week, we have an opportunity for some of us who are able to and have the privilege of being able to go to the Capitol and talk to people. It is a privilege. Lots of places you can't do that. We can go and we can say, this is what we hope for. This is what we would like to see. We're going to stand up for it. It's one way. You can also telephone if you can't be there. You can call senators. You can call the members of the legislature. You can do all of that. We can make a difference. We can make a difference. Today is the day. Today is the day that we give our faith feet. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.